if we don't have purpose, then there's no reason why we're here. Like, I think people should realize that individually they are very unique and also they are very much important. So I think the best thing we can do for ourselves is to actually accept the change, evolve with the change. You are the only constant you have in your life. You can have family. Family can change. The external environment will always change, but you are in control of the internal environment. Yeah. Let's only accept change in the internal environment that we want. There's no better change than the change that you make. Let not change find you. You go and find change. So at least the change that you look for, you control. The change that finds you controls you. Lose the things that you have to lose within. Because there's a time when you're going to lose them, but it will not be within you. You will not be the one in control of that change. One day you look back and regret that you didn't start sooner. And then, you know, you say true, and then the person said, today's the young is it's actually everyone around. You'd be amazed that the person who will push you to success is the person that you feel they are very inspiring to you. You know, what you think about yourself is what you actually portray about yourself. It's actually true. You know what you constantly, the Bible tells us that from the abundance of your heart you speak. So basically it's just telling us that if you don't build your inner self, then that's basically what you are.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't give what you don't have. Yeah. You know, the very same formula that is taking you down, the very same formula you can abuse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of As You Think, So Are You. I am your host, Neliswa Mazibuko, a passionate mental health nurse, and today we are here once again to talk about all things mental health, personal development, and self-help. And I am hoping that even today on what we'll cover, you will benefit, as I am eager to benefit too. And so today we have our guest, Amanda Luhlanga,
Yes.
a mental health nurse too.
Yes.
So I'm just looking forward to having this conversation.
Thank you.
Welcome to As You Think.
Thank you.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm highly blessed and highly favored. Yes. Please.
People of faith.
Yes.
People of faith. All right. So Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Your interview, job interview.
Like not really, not something specific or like who are you?
Okay. I find that the most difficult question to answer. You know, Johari's window. Johari's window, where he speaks about his theory, where he's like, there's that window, the box, there are 4 boxes, and then there's the one that says what people know or what you know about yourself. What people know about you that you know about yourself, then what people know about you that you don't know about yourself, and then what people don't know about you and you also don't know about yourself. So I always think that maybe my myself is very small. Because every time people come with opinions of me, I'm like, yo, is that me? But yeah, I am a young lady, a mental health nurse, yes, to that. Degreed, yes, planning to further, but yeah, working on it. So yeah, what else? I'm a Christian, yes. I believe
and highly
yes,
favored.
please, yes, please. I believe I believe I have strong morals and principled. Yeah, I think I am principled. Yes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you're a mental health nurse.
Yes.
Why?
Oh, okay. At first, it was because I was trying to escape midwifery. But then, you
Alright.
know, when you get into a space, and then you realize, oh, this is actually my purpose. This is, and then you actually realize that this is more than just helping people. Because, you know, with nursing, it's really about helping people. But with mental health, you also discover that it's actually about also discovering who I am. And, you know, that's the most significant part of life. If we don't have purpose, then there's no reason why we're here. So I think mental health also like provided that space for me to discover myself. And when it provided that for me, then I think that was the point where I realized that now I can actually share it with some other people. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, okay. Like you talk of purpose,
Mhm.
but at first you were just escaping something
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
but you ended up just being in the right place, you know.
Yeah.
And so, what really can you say is your purpose when it comes to mental health, when it comes to life in general? Because sometimes, yes, we can confine it to qualifications, to expertise. We define ourselves mostly by what we do, but really, above and beyond that, who are we? Like, what's really the point of us being on earth? And so that's my question to you.
Okay. So I think for purpose, we discover it every day.
Every oh
Yes.
yeah.
So I think it's something that I won't really say that what I say today is what stands and it really is what is and it's final. But I think we get to discover more of why I'm here. But for mental health nurses, I really do believe that part of our purpose is actually helping other people discover their purpose. You know, I had one man say that the moment a person loses their sense of purpose, that is when you'll find your depression, your anxieties, and everything. Because when you realize that I don't even know why I'm here, I don't even know why what is my real purpose, then you find the person will commit suicide because they know whether I'm here or not, life continues for others. But when they actually discover that it's just beyond me, it's actually beyond everything. It's beyond the universe. It's beyond, I think it's eternity. This is something that was predestined before. Like, I think people should realize that individually they are very unique and also they are very much important. So I think that is the base, the very base. And then there's basically the rest of it, like helping people navigate. You know, one time we're talking with, I think it was with my family. So
Okay.
we're just speaking on how being a mental health nurse, it's like you're just helping a person remove a curtain that was standing in front of them. So with every problem that you face, there's always a solution. But you know, when the problems come and they hit you, it's just like there's a wall that's built and you can't really see the way.
Yeah.
But you know, when we come in as mental health nurses, we come in to just like open your vision, take you out of the confinement that you have actually blocked yourself in because of some problems that you're encountering, and then to actually show you, see that there's actually a way out of it. So yeah, pretty much. That's it.
This is already interesting. Yo, yeah, you're touching on many different aspects which are actually so important, you know.
Yeah,
And from what you've said, I'm discovering that we are purpose-driven human beings.
yeah, true.
Purpose-driven beings. Like we always need to have meaning in life in order to appreciate life. But you know, sometimes, as you said, we discover our purpose every day. And every day is just a different day. Every day is a new challenge. And every day we are dealing with things that subtly change, you know. Some change unexpectedly, you know. Some change in ways that we were not ready for that.
Yeah,
And so, you know, like you transition to a certain stage where you are just like, I'll let you example where it's you are at the university, you have to pick a side between the two sides. You know, sometimes you change and you find something that's better.
Yeah, that's
But sometimes when you just transition, you find something that you can't really comprehend or something you can't deal with.
that's true.
And so, how has that been for you? Navigating change.
I think change is something that we can never get used to. Because there's change that's anticipated. I know I'm doing my final year, so I'm anticipating that I'm going to go out and be an unemployed citizen. Then I anticipate that I'll be an employed citizen. Anticipate that I'm going to do my master's. You know, those are changes we anticipate. But then there are changes that you don't anticipate, like loss of a loved one. I was living with this person, but now I have to change.
Yeah.
You know,
person
so
is gone.
yeah, so I don't think we can actually like really master change, since change comes in different ways. But I was just thinking the other day, so on Sunday, we went to my aunt's place after church.
Okay.
And then when we got there, like we're just having a conversation. And then I don't know what happened, what struck the conversation to move in that direction. But as we were having that conversation, we're just chatting around it, and then we're just talking about how much children want to be old.
Adults.
Yes, and
I
then
know,
we
I-
adults.
I wish I can reverse
We want to
that.
regress. We want to regress.
True,
Yeah,
true.
so we're just talking around that, and then this one is a funny one. So we're just talking about how my grandfather, we've never seen him have white hairs.
Oh,
And then
beautiful.
and then only to discover we would see Usain, he uses gold black.
No.
So
Keeping
so
up with the
basi-
times.
Yes, please. So basically, we are always laughing at my mom, because my mom, okay, she's not really that old, yabo, but she's also having white hairs, and she's also using the great black. So okay, for them, I don't really think it's because they're old. I think yini lifuto ngesingesi. Yo, but lifuto, yeah.
It's genetic.
It's genetic, yeah. But so they have the white, like gray hairs at a very young age.
Yeah.
So
And that's normal.
yes, but then we're just talking on how it's very hard to actually like uvele umukele nje ukuthi, okay, now I'm gray haired and be confident about it. But at all times, like they're trying to be like, oh, I want to maintain this stage. I want to maintain my black hair and enjoy. Yeah, we
It's only a
can't.
matter of time.
Yeah, so it was quite an interesting talk. And then when I got home, I think in the evening when got home, I see a shot of from a clip from the Big Bang Theory. So it's Sheldon talking to Penny, and then and then Penny's like, I think one thing that we need to understand, she was talking to Sheldon, that the only constant that we have in the universe is change. So the only thing that will show off is our tomorrow is not going to be like today. Change is inevitable. You're definitely going to change whether we want it or not. We're going to have longer hair tomorrow. We're gonna have longer nails tomorrow. It's just that change that helped me to discover that you know, with me thinking it's just my age, guys, my age and the 16 years. So it made me discover ukuthi, at the end of the day, we are changing, we are evolving. And I think the best thing we can do for ourselves is to actually accept the change, evolve with the change. There's something common that the youngsters usually say. They usually say that you should move with the times. And in as much as that is true, sometimes you actually realize that that can actually be a very detrimental statement when we say we move with the times, move with the trends. So at first we spoke about purpose, Guti. You need to have a sense of purpose. And most of the time when you find yourself caught up in the trends, everything comes. I just remember when we were in Goguti, there's this high school teacher who used to say, "You want to be in Luhlanga now."
Like you have no stand.
Yeah, you really have no backbone. And as much as we are moving with the times, moving with technology, it's making our lives easier. But I really think we need to realize that um you are the only constant you have in your life. You can have family. Family can change. You remember Utimas when we're still learning that say family is what you define it to be.
Yeah, true.
Lokusho ukuthi just because you're my blood relative, yes, you are my family by default. But
the definitions of family
yes,
are
it
different.
changes.
Yeah.
You know, Goguti, when you're living in the campus environment, you know, your roommates become your
That's your
family.
family, your
You know,
friends, yeah,
yes, your friends
family.
become your colleagues become your family. So you realize, Goguti, there's nothing that will always remain with you apart from yourself.
True.
So I believe that when we're moving with the times, we should not forget ourselves. Because a lot of people are living, moving with the trends, but they're long gone. They don't even know who Amanda is anymore.
That's more like
They've lost themselves. So with change, there is the possibility of losing yourself, losing your sense of self, losing who you are in the trends, in the vibes. Because after the vibes, after the music is done, you are the one who's going to remain.
yeah.
So yeah.
True.
So yeah, change is inevitable, but you are also the only constant that you have. That's why we also speak about developing yourself. When we're speaking about developing yourself, you know, we would see people who have depression and whatnot. They usually tell you that it's the thoughts, it's the conversations that I have with myself that are actually driving me to this point.
True.
So you can really imagine a situation where a person is lost in the trends, and then when the trends are done, she has to have a confrontation with herself, and she discovers that self is not developed. You know, that is when you find the person feels lost, no purpose, nothing, because I've wasted my whole life caught up in something that I don't even know where it's going, you know. But then you're just there and you find yourself lost.
Yeah,
you find
it's
yourself, yes, you are just taking in oxygen and bringing out carbon.
Right, yeah.
So basically, that's what you're doing. So you find that you really would need from time to time to have that conversation with self that in as much as things are constantly changing, things are constantly moving, but am I still there? Am I still aligned with my goals, my principles? You know, it's easy to set goals.
Yeah, New Year's resolutions every day. Like
Yes. Oh, the story of New Year's resolutions. The other year, my mom made us write
your mom made you to write a New Year's
New Year's resolution. And you know how when someone makes you to write New Year's resolutions, we would say, "Nje, you're writing Toti Kipe Kaleni," so that I can have something to present when we have the family prayers. Yes.
That's
So
for
you write it for that, not really because they are your goals, you know. And then you discover that you only remember at December. Would say, guys, I wrote resolutions.
And here it's another time to write them.
Yes, here it's coming another time to write, but you've done nothing. Like really, you've done nothing. So you realize Goguguti with the ever changing world, the ever changing environment. Just remember this thing. I would say, Mr. C, I would always say the internal environment and the external environment. Yes, the external environment will always change, but you are in control of the internal environment. Yeah. Let's only accept change in the internal environment that we want. Yes, we cannot control the change outside, but we can control the change.
It's more like it's a choice Either you go with the trends
Mm-hmm.
or you go only with the things that serve you
Yeah.
in that time, that are
That's
aligned with your purpose.
mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. You also touched on self-awareness,
Mm-hmm.
like knowing what things work for you and what
Mm-hmm.
things doesn't really work, which things don't work for you,
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite interesting because we have many definitions of self. We really don't know who we are. Like you are saying, at the end of the day, we come back to us. Yet we find that we are in conflict with ourselves. We really don't know how to navigate the changes outside because we can't really bear with the changes internally with ourselves. And so, how can I, as a person, maybe I'm just, I just don't know anything, you know? I've seen my life, I've lived my life on autopilot. It's morning, I wake up, they call me, I go where they are calling me.
Mm-hmm.
Like going with the trends, going with the times, because we are in a constant state of fearing to miss out.
Yeah.
That is why we want to always keep up with the trends. And they are ever changing, you know. Today is something else, tomorrow is something else. And if you always go with that with that flow, you end up losing yourself, just like you've said.
Mm-hmm.
You end up not knowing what really it is that you want.
Yeah.
Hence the sense of purpose being lost after the trend has just faded down. So how can I, as a person, come to the appreciation of the change that is inevitable, at the same time understand that I am the constant in this whole thing? I am the one who should be in charge. And how can I actually have these conversations with myself? Because we always talk that we must have conversations with ourselves. We fear that thing.
Yeah.
Just looking at the mirror and just like
In
seriously looking
real.
at myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we look at the mirror, but we don't see ourselves, you know, because we are not really ready to confront our feelings. We are not ready to confront our reality that is ever changing, even.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we find that we become rigid even to change. We cannot navigate change. Hence, if things change, we become depressed because we are used to the things to the life that we have tried to create for
For
ourselves.
That's true.
Because we are comfortable in that position at that time.
Comfortability,
you know
yes.
like, in as much, even if change is good, but the fact that I am comfortable where I am, I would feel like I'll procrastinate, and postpone the thing, and I end up being stuck. Then by the time I realize, it's maybe too late sometimes. Even
That's true.
it's maybe too late. While default life says what you are not changing, you are already choosing, which means that is even change itself. If you decide not to change, you have decided.
Yeah, by default. Yeah.
You have decided.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I, as a general human being, maybe listening, watching this, like navigate those skatey parts? Because sometimes we really have no one to guide us. We really don't know how to even sit down and have conversations with ourselves. Today's world is full of buzzes and notifications and everything.
Yeah, please.
As soon as I wake up, I go through my phone. I'm on social media. And automatically that will define my day, will define me. And I've never had the conversation with myself. Like, I've never sat down, planned my day the way I want it. I'm already chasing schedules, deadlines. I'm already trying to meet some things, some people. But when do I actually get time with myself? And how can I actually do that, given all the things that are going on?
Thank you very much for that one. Because I have a personal experience with that. A few weeks back, I was just thinking that I was actually living my life in autopilot because I was failing to confront something about myself.
Okay.
So you just find yourself, you don't want it to be quiet. So what happens is, you know that when you are quiet, the truth will come up.
True.
So it's either it's filled with videos, I'm calling someone to chat, my space.
Music, like the constant
Music is fine because music can confront you. So it was always like social media, calling people, and those calls where even the person is now tired of speaking with you, and then they're trying to end the conversation, and you are not ending it. And when you immediately drop this one, you're calling the next one. Yes, the next victim of your
of your vicious cycle.
yes, of your vicious cycle. So you just find yourself in that loop. Until I realized we would see, I'm not growing from this. I really need to confront this. And at that point, now that has become a habit for me. So now I have to deal with breaking a habit of social media. I have to deal with these friends who are now constantly calling me because sebayati ngeke lishone, she has to call. Yes, now you have to break all of that. Now you have to take a step further because you've avoided this one thing for too long. So I think the best thing is to unplug. Nothing beats unplugging. Once you unplug, the truth comes up and you realize that I'm not doing anything with my life. You feel, because with social media, you feel like you're moving with everyone. With the friends.
You feel like you have a sense of purpose.
You feel like you're moving with everyone. And at that point, friends, when you're talking about friends with friends, and then Senkunma would say, "Hi, Mazibuko." I met Mazibuko. Hey, Mazibuko is dying. And then you look at your life and you say, but I'm better than Mazibuko. So I think you coming in terms with yourself, you actually realize you're dying, you're decaying. And I realized at that point we would say, I'm slowly just perishing away. But I'm doing it very comfortably.
Yeah, like you're in a comfortable position to die.
No, I am going to hell in a limousine. I'm taking the wrong way, but comfortably, So I think we just need to stand up and face reality and stop just dancing to the music that we hear play. We're moving with every wind and sound that's going. So I think the first step is really unplugging. Nothing beats quiet time where everything is just quiet and it's just you and yourself.
That is scary though.
Yeah, it is scary, but I think it's a great learning curve. I think we all need to do that every day. Have a time with yourself. Have an appointment with yourself.
Every day.
Yes, you are that important. When you realize Guguti, you are actually more important than the next person to yourself. Because the next person can serve themselves, but no one will serve you. If you don't take charge, no one will ever take charge for you.
Of your life.
Yeah, you'll always be looking with envy. That is where you then give birth to jealousy. You then give birth to envy. You then feel left out. That's your depression. You then feel the anxiety. You would say, everyone I grew up with is now working, is now, and I'm just left behind because you didn't take time to nurture yourself. Any tree you don't water will not grow by mistake. Yes. Most of the time we just allow our garden to grow weed.
True.
We are busy.
And
we are very busy. No, we are very busy and rooting. But not in my garden. I am rooting in other people's gardens. That's the very painful part.
It begins at home.
It begins at home. And you find that the worst thing is that when you're trying to pick in other people's gardens, you will think that plants are weed. Because you don't even know what is weed, what is good, what is bad for them. But for you, when you start realizing, we would say, I'm taking charge of my life, you will actually see that this is actually not going well. This is not going. So it's that constant nurturing. And there's something that I've realized. You spoke about procrastination. I think in our generation, that is the biggest enemy.
Yeah, true.
Because I will have a conversation with myself today and realize, I have got weed.
The issues.
The problem, we are scared of taking the first step.
True. True.
So because I'm scared, I will do it tomorrow. As if tomorrow you won't be scared.
True.
So I think we just need to really confront ourselves. And then when we confront ourselves, just take the step. You don't need to weed the whole field in one day. In fact, that's not what's done. You just take the portion that you can, and then tomorrow you will up again, take the other portion, and then tomorrow again. That's why life is not one day. It's a continuing series.
Yeah.
Yes, we're developing this story.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
today we're not going to make the whole plot.
Yeah.
We're just going to begin. So I think it's for us to actually stand up and begin being the author of your life. Why is your life determined by who is wearing what, who is doing what, when, who called you, who didn't? You know, I think realizing self first, I think it's most important. You know, there's this story in the Bible. It's not a story; it's a parable in the Bible where Jesus was talking about these two people who built houses. And the other one built their house without a very strong foundation on sand, and then the other one built it on a very strong foundation, which was on a rock. So when the winds came, which is the change we're talking about today, when the wind came, one was blown away, but one stood. One stood. It means to tell you that the time you are procrastinating building your foundation, that is how fast it's going to take to demolish you.
Oh, God.
But the moment you take time to build yourself, you will reap what you have sown. So I think we really need to grow yourself. And, you know, we are always looking in social media, people who have achieved, and always be like, yo, I want to be like this one.
Yeah, all the glitz and glamour.
Yes, all the glitz and glamour. But you know what? Even if the person is living in glitz and glamour and they're really what you want them to be, without considering that other people just fake the life. Let's say the person is really living the life you want to live. We never want to honor the formula they followed.
True.
The
want
tears
results
they
without the
cried.
work.
Yes, the tears they cried, the sleepless nights they had. No, we just want the result without going through the process. And that can never happen. You can never have a two unless you have the one and the other one that will come together. And then you have the two. Yeah, so I think that's really the starting point of our lives, is that with the evolution, with the times coming, let us not forget to build our foundations, you know. And, you know, there's something that's really not comfortable that I got to also confront with myself was taking advice. You know, taking advice is hard here.
That's true.
Because I know it all.
Yeah,
Please.
especially.
Yes.
You know.
But
And the fact that you know that there are things you have to change, but you just can't change.
yes. So I think the one reason we fear change is because we know we have not built our houses strong enough. So the moment you see the man who built his house on a rock, when they hear the forecasting that when the strong winds are coming,
They're relaxed.
No, they just take out their cup, get some tea or coffee, and they sit and they say,
They are enjoying the weather.
when is it beginning? I will be inside my house. But imagine the anxiety and the depression the other one who built their house on sand is having right now.
And the anxiety won't change anything.
It won't. It really won't. You know, anxiety doesn't change anything. Oh, just remembering something. I think a few weeks ago, my mom was stressed out because there's something that wasn't going as planned, you know. And then my sister said something really interesting. She said, "Oh, can I ask you something? Like when you worry, does it change?" You know, we laughed. We laughed, but then we actually were confronted with the truth that, you know, when you are, nothing changes.
Yes.
It really doesn't.
Nothing.
So the only best thing we can do ourselves is to actually prepare ourselves for
For the
anything.
change.
You know, when you've built your house strong enough, noma ngizamqolo,
Yeah, or any type
or
of
you're chilled. You know that you're fine. You've built your house. You've taken the time to prepare. Kani, the one who was lazing around, excited that
going with the flow.
at least I have a house. Dokusalayo, nina indlu, you know, because that is how we are presenting. And you know, on social media, ngendeka, yena, he's like actually the one who was moving forward, because it's not easy to crack a rock and try to put a structure there. But on the sand, it's fast, baby. 1 week we are done. You have your house. Yes.
The overnight achievement.
And you see, at that point, we applaud. Yes, everyone
Applaud
applauds.
the results, not really knowing the work.
Yes. You know, we applauded Lona Loa Kagsand because it was fast. Yes. And that is how our generation is now. The people who are getting the easy money, the quick money,
The instant gratification on all
yes,
things.
they are wearing the Gucci's, they are driving the luxury
they are
cars.
fake, but
Yes.
some of them.
Don't go there. Don't go there. But you know, we are applauding those people. And then there's the other person who we feel like they are stagnant in life. No, they are still building the foundation. So I think with us wanting to meet with the trends, so the moment I get 50 Malangin, I'm thinking, I should buy a pizza so that I can take a picture, and then my uncle or my aunt can see that in life I'm doing. You know, we're not
really into impress people.
Exactly, you're not really going back to build your house. When the people who are building their houses, they don't have the luxuries that we're looking for. They are not really glamorous as we want, but they have the foundation. So yeah. And you know, I was actually thinking the other time, Guguti, you know, I don't want to have I want my kids to look up to me in everything in life. I don't want my children to say, just because God gave me this spirit, I have to like withstand. I want to build a future that my children will want to have, because they will know that at least I know my mom, whenever she's faced with any challenges, she will come out stronger out of this. So, you know, in as much as we feel like our lives don't affect the people around us, we actually realize that they affect almost everyone we become in contact with. So I think, yeah, we need to build ourselves. We really need to.
No, today you are here to confront my issues.
I am confronting everyone's issues, even mine.
You know, we've talked about many profound things. You know, many of the things that we really need to do as individuals, you know,
That's
even
true.
myself, as I'm saying, like I deeply relate with almost everything you say. We procrastinate. And actually procrastination is the fear of change.
Yeah,
You know, we try to assume a comfortable position
that's true.
to just fearing that what if it could be worse? You know, what if I start and it doesn't work out? You know, those what if. I wrote on my status, I think, I don't know, I think yesterday, this morning, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's there.
yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
I talked of the reason we are stuck in life is because we want that picture perfect thing. You know, we want things that are failure proof. You know, we want things that they will just come out and just be those inspirational things, that quick buildings.
Quick
You know,
fix, yeah.
the overnight successes. And another thing I also wrote is that, you know, the building stage can be so difficult
But
and
it's
can
worth
be
it.
lonely. You know,
True.
you deal with things yourself. You can't really tell anyone because people won't understand that you are building something. You know, people will always feel like you're just wasting your time. Go enjoy life. You know, but at the end of the day, most people are not really enjoying life. You know, we are living to please. We are trying to show up in a way, excuse me, that will be perceived as better. Not really that we are better. Now I'm remembering a quote. I don't know who said it. Or I think it's Neil Armstrong, but I'm not sure. Like, he said he realized that the most difficult thing will not be doing the thing,
Yeah.
more than actually doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The regret is more painful than the failure of trying.
Yeah.
And you
It's
see,
true.
and another one said, I'm not sure also, if you I don't remember the quote, but it talks of
Yeah.
frogs. Like,
Something
you know,
they
if you are going to eat a frog, eat the fat one first. Like, don't procrastinate. If you know that there are things you need to do them. And if you have something that's hardest, start with that one.
Yeah.
And we need to do that as individuals. We need to confront our issues for real, like sit down with ourselves, build that foundation. Because at the end of the day, like you said, we will be on a downward spiral by the time the situations come, the storms of life come to hit us, because we have no firm foundation.
True.
And sometimes it's not really that even the one on a firm foundation didn't feel the heat.
They did.
They did, but they were able to withstand. One thing I like about some trees, trees that are deeply rooted, after strong winds, they come back.
Oh, by the way, after the wind, they have no leaves. They look like they've died.
Yes.
And life is still
Life is
going
still
on.
there.
Yeah.
You may lose your leaves, but the fact that you were not uprooted,
True.
you had a deeper foundation that really sustains you. And we contemplate too much about change.
Yes.
I want to be this, I want to go to the gym. We anticipate the results, like you said, and we don't really put in the work. We admire the social media life, the people who seems they have achieved all, and they can also tell you their stories. And that's the thing we also do as believers. We pray for the things, but we do not really want to put in the work.
Why? Why? Miracle?
Yeah,
No, not even miracle, magic.
We believe that things can just come without me putting any effort.
That's true.
And that is something that we really need to stop doing. We really need to confront ourselves. And change is inevitable, you said. And yeah, I talk too much.
Yeah. There's something interesting that I thought of while you were speaking. I saw a video of this guy who was interviewing this successful billionaire and then was asking them what they did when they were beginning their success journey. And the person said, the first thing that I did was I moved out of my city and went to live in a very different city. And then the person probed, why? And he said, I was too comfortable. One, I was around people who only had their mindset limited to the city.
To the surroundings.
I was also confined. It's the moment I came out of my comfortable place. It was comfortable living in the city that he was living in. I've known this for all my life. It's comfortable. Yes, this is where life ends, it seems. But the moment he came out of that place and stood out, that's when success followed him. What am I trying to say? There's no better change than the change that you make. Let not change find you. You go and find change. So at least the change that you look for, you control. The change that finds you controls you.
Oh my God.
So I think I learned a lot from that, to say that we're so comfortable in our cocoons that we've built and made, not realizing that we don't even know who built this foundation. Gani, when I am the one who's going to go out and build, I will know the type of foundation I'm building in, the material that I'm going to use to build. So I think one of the most important things is for us to actually come out and initiate the change. Lose what you want to lose. Don't lose what will come by surprise. You know, there are some things that you will decide to lose. I will decide to lose social media, making an example. But then I'm going to gain from that since, I'm going to develop myself. This is what I'm going to do. But imagine a time where now you have to lose social media because now you are bankrupt, you don't have money for Wi-Fi or data, or you don't even, there are even
Don't have a
phone. Things are happening, Lose the things that you have to lose willingly. Because there's a time when you're going to lose them, but it will not be willingly and you will not be the one in control of that change. So, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm amazed, I'm amazed by what you've just said,
Yeah.
and it calls for a really deep self-introspection, just to know that in as much as I feel comfortable, but it's only a matter of time that comfortability will become so uncomfortable, and if I don't face my demons today, definitely when they come to haunt me, I will have nightmares,
They'll come together, fools. Yes.
all of them.
But
And that's the painful thing that we are ignorant of as people.
True.
We feel like just because I don't change something today, it's okay, and just because I feel comfortable today, it's fine. Not knowing that it will catch up with you, and by the time it catches up and deals with you, you won't really like it. And I like the fact that you say be in control of the change, or the change will control you. And you, in your profession, maybe you deal with many individuals. You maybe you've had experiences of individuals, had interactions of people who are also meant to change, but some of them are not changing. Some of them want to change, some of them can't change, as they say. Like, what can you say to such individuals? You interact with them every day. Maybe some don't even see that they need to change because they are too comfortable. You made an example of the guy who left their city and eventually was successful. Sometimes that is difficult, leaving the place you have lived in for so long, or rather that comfortable position that you've always been in, and going to start something new from scratch. That is where it is the hardest. But the first step that you said was to actually realize that I need to change something. As long as I'm here, I am not growing. And as long as I stay here, I'll be confined to this environment. And so, and what if I don't know that? And what if maybe it's a client who comes to you, I'm faced with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how to deal with. We also see this in drug and alcohol abuse. People really want to change their habits, but you find that they can't. Some start, they relapse. you know they start and go back, and some lose even the hope of trying, because I feel like I've relapsed for a long time. I feel like I've tried and I've failed. You said you are here to remove the hating, the veil, and their eyes.
Yeah. Okay, before maybe I can answer that, because I know I forget this. You said something about facing your demons because they'll come back to haunt you. When you don't face your demons, they are also eating, they are growing. When they come back to haunt you, they'll come back stronger. Hey. So it's better to meet them now. I think this even answers your question. Meet your demons now while they are still small, because tomorrow they'll be bigger. And another thing, I saw someone post on their status yesterday, I think they had posted just a quote saying that one day you look back and regret that you didn't start sooner.
True.
And then you say true, and then the person said underneath, today's the youngest that you'll be for the next other times, which means
That's true.
I can't control my yesterday. Yes, I didn't start yesterday, but today,
Start now.
at least when I look 10 years from now, I'll say at least I started sooner. So I think for us, it's just standing up, rising up now. The only time you have to rise is now. Tomorrow is gone. Tomorrow I'm not even sure of, but you sure of now. So like taking up your now and being like, whatever's going to go on, I don't care, but now I am waking up. When I started my conversation, we first spoke about the Johari's window, I learned a lot from that. When I first read of the theory, and he also spoke about how it's important to enlarge the things I know about myself, that window, and then have the smaller window of the things that you don't know about yourself. For me, that played a very critical role in determining the type of change I had to do. Because, the things that you don't know about yourself, that you need to confront, they are the things that are eating you slowly. If you want to destroy something, you don't destroy it over there, it would be too obvious.
Like termites,
Yes, you go underground and then you eat it kancane, 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 kancane. And when that destruction happens, the whole story goes down.
Yeah, catastrophic.
It's very catastrophic. So that's the things that you don't know about yourself, the things that you actually need to change. They are eating you slowly and you don't even realize it. So I think the first step is have the meeting with yourself to know about the things that you know about yourself that are actually bad. And then there's the second part, the things that people know about you that you don't know. So you go to the people. So have a mini survey of yourself. Just ask people, Saki.
What you do?
Yeah. What you think of me. You actually learn a lot about yourself, and you actually realize that, okay, this is not actually going well. Maybe I should fix this. This is a type of change that I do. And ask the people to be brutally honest with you. You're my friend, but I need you to be brutally honest with you. One day, I went to, I didn't, yeah, I think we were having a conversation with one of our lecturers, and then I asked him that, how am I? How do you think I am? And he said something really interesting. I never thought in my wildest dreams did I think he'd say this. He said, Amanda, you have obsessive compulsive behavior. I looked at myself, Aibo, maybe another Amanda, not me. I really didn't think, like even after he tried to explain to me what he meant, I really didn't think I did until I started seeing the traits. And, I wouldn't have noticed it until someone else pointed it out to me. So that is when I started dealing with it and actually like seeing the traits and trying to change, trying to now build out of that, trying to unlearn these habits that I've learned. So I think it's really important to have conversations with people that know you, the people you live with, the people you work with, the people you go to school with. Those are the people who know you. And then even for us Christians, that's why David once says to God, search me, search my heart. When you go, God is brutally honest. He will search you and he will find and he will show you and you will have to change. So I think it's very important for you to actually have that confrontation and don't be angry towards the people that have told you the truth, because tomorrow they'll be scared when you actually need this to actually realize where I need to change and where I feel comfortable. So I think, that's one of the things that people can do to actually recognize that this is the part where I want to change. First, have the conversation with yourself to know the things that you know about yourself and you are clear that these are things are not going well. And then you move on to the next level, the people around you. Even a person that you've just met, they say first impression lasts. When I was a bit younger, I didn't smile a lot, So until one person said, Amanda, you're really scary. But it's very hard for someone to approach you. And after that person said, I started being cautious of how I presented myself in an environment that I'm not used to. Because sometimes, it's not the big people that you think you're going to meet that are going to lead you to success.
So
It's actually everyone around you. You'd be amazed that the person who will push you to success is the person that you feel they are very insignificant to your life today. So you need to always make sure that in every setting, in every environment that you are in, you are presented as the best person of yourself. I just remember that one person once said, you are a brand.
so
So if you are a brand, you never want your brand to appear as cheap quality. So you always want to present as high quality. So whether you're at home, you are high quality self. Whether you're in town, you're high quality self. Whether you're at work, you're high quality self. You'd be amazed that your success lies in the place you least expect it to. So I think we really need to build ourselves, because another thing that is affecting this generation is faking. The fake it till you make it. You get tired of faking.
Sometimes
Hey,
it's not. Yeah,
you get tired of faking.
you lose the resources of
Yeah.
faking.
Oh my God, you lose the resources. Yeah, but at some point, the real you will come out. Now I'm speaking about the internal environment. You're a person who's short-tempered, but you're very good at pretending. One day, and it will happen in the worst place you want possible. You're in a meeting that is going to really,
Change your life, man.
really going to change your life, and then they'll do just one thing and you'll snap, and that's the end. So this is why it's really important for you to confront yourself, because when you confront yourself, you'll be real
And you
about
will
things,
know.
and then you address things really. Kani, when you're busy fake and try to smile when it's not smiling, no, one day the smile won't come out. It won't. He will say, me and you, our contract ends here.
Yeah.
I am leaving you here
And now it's time to confront your
and now
demons.
it's time to confront them. And I don't know why they always appear at the most crucial point in your life. At the climax, that is when now life asks you, who are you? What are you made of? And it's at that point you make and break time. And you don't want to miss that opportunity. They are rare. They are rare. So I think, we really need to step up and step out for our lives. Like I said, you are important. You are too important to procrastinate. Let me make an example. Let's say a high profile person is coming. And you have to prepare for them lunch. You go all out because they are a very important person. But we don't go all out for ourselves. When we are the very, 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 very
the
most
most
important people. Yeah. You are the one who makes yourself important. What you think about yourself is what you actually portray about yourself. The moment you take yourself as unimportant, unvalued, and everything, the moment you take yourself like that, you will present yourself like that to us until we also will be convinced you are like that. So you'd be actually amazed that we actually control. There's this one colleague of mine who always says, you know what I say? Ngisuke ngidala, Amanda. He's always saying it jokingly, but then it's actually true. What you consider, and the Bible tells us that from the abundance of your heart you speak. So basically, it's just telling us that if you don't build your inner self, then that's basically what you are.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't. You can't give what you don't have. Yeah. So I think it's very important for us to actually come into terms and to the truth that we really need to build on ourselves. We really need to build. Nothing else matters. Whether the sun shone or it rained or the winds came or what happened, if I know I have a strong foundation. Gane, if you know ukuthi I know my foundation is sand, hey, you're always praying
Always on the edge. Yeah.
that it doesn't rain. Just that it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
That no winds come, and you don't want to live in that position where you can be blown to and from with every wind that comes. So yeah.
That's beautiful. You're dropping bars like here and there.
Please,
that is so
please.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the inputs you've made.
Yeah.
Like I've said, things you don't know about other things until you hear somebody talk about them. Not really that we don't know, but we deem ourselves as busy, to confront issues. We deem ourselves as too engaged. We get too comfortable, like you've said. Excuse me. Excuse me. We get too comfortable and we just go with the flow each and every time. And you've touched many, 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 many important things on actually getting to know yourself, know what you really want, know what tickles you, and don't really try to show up as something you are not, but always to present yourself as original as you can be. As you said, you are a brand. So if you are a brand, you want to have the constant. And you can't have the constant if you are faking everything. Because we tell so much lies that we end up forgetting them.
Yeah.
And sometimes we tell ourselves so much lies that we end up believing them.
True. True.
So it's high time that we just present ourselves as we are. Let's not fear judgment, because after all, if we were meant to be the same, we would have been from the beginning. One analogy that I like is the analogy of fruits. There is a banana, there is an apple, there's an orange, there's all these fruits. A banana will always be a banana, no matter how much it admires to be an apple, no matter how much it admires to be an orange. The time it tries to change shape, it can only rot. You see. And an apple will always be an apple.
That's true.
And it doesn't matter. The apple is just as important as the banana, as the orange. But they are important because they are different. We can have many bananas, but we can only eat one banana at a time. That's the significance of life. But we can eat a banana and an apple at the same time. Life calls for us to show up as that apple, as that banana, like be as original as possible. Even when it comes to change, you know that the only change that an apple will go through is to be red if it's a red apple, even if it started unripe. It will grow from an apple tree. You won't find an apple on a banana tree. So we want to fit in where we don't belong. That is why we even fear change, because we have that thing in mind. I want to be that. And when life pushes you in the other direction, the direction that you originally have to be in, you find that we get the resistance. And just as I'm talking about that, I'm just thinking, like, how does support play a role in all of this? Because we can do things, but we are in a community of people. We are in a family. We are in a working environment. And the things that people say, in as much as we don't have control of the external environment, but it has influences on our internal environment. And how can support play a role in a person embracing change?
Okay. There's something interesting that we had a conversation on with my younger brother. We're just discussing Guruti. Your weakness is actually your strength.
Mm.
And when he was talking about that, he was arguing with me, like, hey, how can that be? It's your weakness. It's your. And then we actually came to the conclusion that, the very same formula that is taking you down is the very same formula you can abuse or manipulate to take you up.
Sure.
So the external environment can push you into a corner. So why don't you use the very same force that the external environment is giving you to make it push the other way and push things for you? So what I'm trying to say is that, you know how change can push you into a corner. Sometimes you find yourself weak and you find yourself in a bad place. If we can manipulate that very same system to work to our very own advantage, it can work. So we're talking about the internal environment and the external environment. So in this case, the external environment is the people who are around us. You know how people are around you can, I make an example of this billionaire who said they changed their environment so that because the people they were around were confining them.
They were not serving.
Until he changed the people who were around and placed himself in a community of people who had broader mindsets. And when he did that, that's when things changed for them. So I think that is the first thing we need to realize, is that let us manipulate our external environment so well so that they can only push us into success. Imagine a situation where every of your friends is so successful such that you always feel intimidated when you're around them. Don't you think you'll have sleepless nights thinking of how you want to push yourself towards them? And then you imagine a situation where I am in a group of friends where all of them are below me. So every time I'll be trying to fit in, to fit in, to fit in. So what I'm basically saying is that when you discover that you are a banana, go to the bananas and stay with the bananas. And when you try to fit in, you will only be trying to be a banana. So that is the same thing, even with the apple. When you discover that I'm an apple, don't stay with the bananas. You will automatically try to fit in. It's something that we not think about, Yabon. There's a common saying that says, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't mean that you will pick friends that are like you. It's just that your friends will influence you so nice so that you will become like them. So when you discover that this is what I want to be, this is what I am striving to become, put yourself in an environment that will force you to become that. The moment you are depressed and you see that, I'm in a depressed, the moment you contain yourself in a depressed environment, the only way you're going is down.
True.
But the moment you take yourself in an environment that will demand something out of you, you will find yourself coming out without even knowing when it happened and how it even happened. So I think we need to learn to manipulate our environment to work for us. Everything that works to the west of you, you can always manipulate to move in the other direction. Yes. So if you realize I have a weakness, let that weakness work as a strength for you. And you realize that that is actually your uniqueness. The thing that you feel like, oh my goodness,
This is the thing I hate
this is
about
the thing I
myself.
hate about myself. That is your very uniqueness. And that was purposefully designed, but let it work for your good. Let me make an example. One time I discovered, we would say, I am thick-headed.
You are?
Thick-headed.
Huh?
Thick-headed.
Oh. Okay.
I can be in some situations, not every day, but Ginger, I can be. So I discovered that every time I was showing that trait, it was to perpetrate something that was going to be detrimental. Until I made a discovery that, I can actually use this trait for something good. That when I know that this is going to work for me, no matter what anyone says, I will continue with it. Then it works for me. And in the moment, in one setting, it's bad. But in another setting now, it's yielding a positive result for me. So I think it's just redirecting the things that we find are bad for us and just use the same energy. Don't try to create something new. Just redirect the energy to something else that will yield for you. I don't know if you remember this, but during our symposium, they invited Dr. I forgot his name, but they invited this doctor who came in and said, the universe is ready to provide you with everything that you need.
True.
But right now it looks like the universe is ready to take everything away from me. Take the exact same energy it's giving you and then change the direction, and then it will work for you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I think, it's very important that we find support, but it's very important which support you are getting. So yeah, I think it's just basically that. It's manipulate.
This is so profound. This is so profound. Like, I like how you actually articulate it so clearly. How it actually can be something you can use to your advantage, or also can be something that can kill you, you know. But it's only a matter of manipulating it, as you are saying. Like, all things works together for the good of those, you know. All things are working for my good, you know. So I think it's the perspective shift that the people trying to put you down are the same people who can uplift you. Just if you have a way of turning that thing around to your favor. You understand? That is so profound for real. So as we wrap up, what can you say to a person who is faced with a situation right now? Maybe it's a loss, because even losses change, you know. Yes, we have the situations that we are in control of, but there are also situations that we really can't control. But we have to accept, we have to try and deal with them. And sometimes it's hard. We fall into grief, we fall into depression. You know, it just becomes a downward spiral, you know. What can you say? Maybe what are your parting words?
Basically, things will happen that are inevitable, Yabon. But I think the most important thing is going through the process of grief faster. Let us move towards acceptance faster. I think that helps, because the more you postpone the acceptance, the more you go through the pain, you go through the denials, the depression, all those stages. So I think one thing that we really need to learn, especially us as Swazis, I feel like us as Swazis don't do this very much, is to confront your emotions and allow yourself to feel them. You've had loss or grief or whatever change that you feel like, it's pushing me to a corner. Do not invalidate your feelings.
Okay.
Yes, allow yourself to feel the pain, allow yourself to cry. Indodaikali doesn't work in this formula.
So
Yeah, so allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to go through it, allow yourself to feel every part of it, allow yourself to go through the journey. The moment you feel like, I'm strong, me, I'm a lady, ngimbogodvo, I need to be strong, that is when it actually eats you up, there's one interesting thing that I learned, and for me it was life changing. This thing of Emma defense mechanisms, as they were spoken about by Freud, the fact that he speaks about healthy defense mechanisms and unhealthy defense mechanisms. One of the most detrimental defense mechanism is the repression,
yeah, true.
because it eats you alive. You feel like life is continuing when it's not. You put on a smile every day when you're really not smiling. So I think the most important thing is for us to develop also a culture of having these healthy defense mechanisms, where you're able to, like,
Yes, not suppress.
yes, not suppress it, just deal with it. If you feel like you're not ready to deal with it, yes, you can suppress it for a while, but let not the suppression last for a long time. Yes, you find that loss happens and you have an exam, you need to suppress, write exam. When you finish exam, cry. It. Cry. Yes. Cry.
But
Yes, deal with it. Deal with it as soon as possible. Talk about it. We always say talk about it, and then we forget who to talk about
who to
it
talk to?
to. Yabo. So it's really important when selecting the people that you're going to cry to. And so we talked about manipulating your external environment. So even then, it's not everyone that you're supposed to cry in front of, yabon. Ukuthi now you're breaking down in front of everyone. So you need to learn to pick who is your support system. Pick them now so that you can make that now. We prepare for our tomorrow today.
So
Let's not try ukuthi sengikhanise sekuvela le nkinga sengizama kwakha i-rapport nemuntu and I need the help now. So yeah, let's just try to build your support system now, so that the people can learn you and learn how best they can help you. So I think that's important. You are going through something, do not go through it alone, because it's in the coffers of you being alone where the lights just seem to be dark. You feel like there's no light, the walls build around you, there's no way out. Then that is where the problem begins. Kind of when there are the people around you who will help you remove that cloth to actually see the light at the end of the tunnel and actually see the way to the end of the tunnel. I think that's what's important. Yes.
I don't want to add anything. Let's just keep it as is. That is so profound and that is so beautiful and that is so amazing, honestly speaking. Because some things are really inevitable, as you said. But at the end of the day, we need to face them. We need to confront them. They won't change just because we have avoided them. But they will have to change for the better if we are only ready to deal with them and give us ourselves the grace of just acknowledging that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to break down, but just know where and when to break down.
Anyways, we're only human.
After all,
Yeah.
after all, we really do not have to keep up this smile every day. If it is not working, it's not working. And let's just acknowledge and deal with that.
Seek help.
And yes, we can get help, even professional help. We have people like you, maybe enemy. Like we have such platforms for really platforms where it is safe to talk about issues. And as much as it is a public platform, but sharing something with someone who can relate is actually so profound, and you really don't know the impact you have on someone just because you haven't seen that person. But the fact that they had a message that touched their lives, maybe they are in a situation dealing with something right now and they can't comprehend how to actually go out of that situation. But you have words of wisdom, actually. And just one last thing as we are wrapping up. Since we are on As You Think So, Are You?
Yes.
And the core foundation of this podcast is how our thoughts interplay in our lives and how they actually influence us in the way we live, in the way we show up ourselves, in the way we navigate change. How has your thoughts been an influence to you? And how has that actually helped you to navigate with change? And the last question, how can a viewer actually also put their thoughts in favor of them as they are navigating these parts of life?
Oh wow, that's nice. I'd like to go back to the example of the ground, the garden. Let's take your mind to be a garden.
Okay.
So you really want to nurture things that you want to grow and bear fruits, rather than the things that are going to actually compete with the good things that are going in your head.
Okay.
So, if you nurture best thoughts, you are creating a trail, and they continue. That's why people who are depressed are more at risk of suicide, because they are slowly creating a trail of thoughts. So they keep on nurturing a trail of thoughts that are
That are not
bad. I'm
serving them.
insignificant. I don't matter. Why do I live? If you can look at that trail, I'm leading to
To-
suicide. But when you nurture thoughts that are actually going to be positive, that are actually going to drive you to become better, to grow yourself and everything, then you are actually going to have, you are creating a trail of thoughts. You know, everything in this world is a system. So basically, most of the time we blame the system. No, don't blame the system. Manipulate the system. The same thing that happens, the same trail it goes. It started with a single thought.
True.
Something happened that was very big, and I'm like, oh, why do I even exist? And then I started nurturing it. Imagine how beneficial it would be if it was just one thought. I am important. And then you started nurturing it. So I think it comes with us trying to cultivate the good things that we want in our head and not cultivating the bad things that we have in our heads. Um, there's something interesting. They say, as you think, so you are.
Mhm.
But interesting enough, what you think is what you are exposed to. So if I'm always watching videos that are going to make me think I'm insignificant, make me feel, I'm always looking at people who are well success, people who are my age.
Mhm.
What do you think my thoughts will be made of?
Yeah.
They will be channeled around me trying to compete, feeling like I have to compete in a world of apples when I'm actually a banana, like you made an example earlier. So I think the first thing is also cultivating what we eat. You are a product of what we eat. You know, the in the health sector they usually say the food is the first medicine. So that's the same thing even with your
For your
mind.
mind.
What you feed your mind is will determine the health of your mind. So they only feed yourself, part of growing yourself, only feed your mind with things that you want to be in your mind. Only feed yourself with the results of what you want. So if I am reading things that will empower me every day, I'm reading things on self-development, those are the very things that I'm going to give out. So basically it's just that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Amanda, really, for taking your time to come here and to actually just put yourself on this platform, be open, share, and actually encourage all of us on the things you touched on. You touched really profound things, really mind blowing things, and things that actually call for one to just reflect, just to sit down and think, is this the life that I want? Is this the change that I want to see in my life? Am I really in control of my life? And I've learned a lot actually. As I said, you are inspiring. Indeed, you are inspiring.
thank you.
And I appreciate that with you. And please continue making an impact in people's lives. And I'm sure this will do reach people who need to hear it, and people who will actually take action towards making their lives much more better, towards embracing change. After all, life is changing, life is evolving. Today you have something, tomorrow you don't have it. Today you don't have, tomorrow you have. So life is just a series of changing circumstances, a series of changing, and you have talked about in a way that is so relatable, I think, to almost every one of us. How general it is that we avoid change, while change is just a significant portion of our lives, you know. And with those words, thank you so much once again
Thank
for
you.
being here. And we are looking forward to have you again.
Yes, please. Can I
Definitely,
also
definitely.
just pass my gratitude for the invite? And you've been a great host. Yes, thank you very much for everything. We hope to see each other again in such a platform. Yes, please. Yes, thank you so much. And we do pray that this grows, this actually impacts a lot of people positively, because after everything, we only just want that people grow and become the best of who they can become. So we thank you very much for this platform, and we hope that it will grow, reach greater heights, and expand. Yeah, we are very grateful.
Thank you so much once again for tuning in on this channel, and I hope and I believe that all of us will benefit and try to actually navigate life and try to actually deal with life, with problems in life, challenges, changes, and all that we are faced with. At the end of the day, life needs to be beautiful, but it doesn't mean that we don't have problems that we are faced with. But the most important thing that we need to do is, after everything has been said and done, let us take charge of our lives. Let us actually be accountable. Let us actually confront the issues that we need to confront. If we have change that we need to deal with, let's just deal with it. And if some things that we face, things that are inevitable, also we face loss, let's have the grace to actually navigate those paths in life. And so with those parting words, thank you so much once again for tuning in, and please remember to follow, to like, to subscribe, and to actually comment, share things that resonated with you, and actually share also topics that you would like us to touch on next time. And you can also have a suggestion of a guest that you would like to see on this platform. Otherwise, thank you so much, and a big shout out to Chonogushe Upholstery for also giving us these beautiful chairs, these comfortable chairs to actually use to sit and host our guests on. It is really an honor, and if you want to be in touch with them, you can check them on their socials. We will share the link in the description below for more information. Otherwise, thank you so much, and until next time. Thank you so much.